First of all, let me send my sincere condolences and prayers here from my neck of the woods to the people of Jamaica who just suffered a great catastrophe, and also my native land of Barbados, who is undergoing some very serious consequences in many ways. And for the catastrophic flooding that just occurred a few days ago, which many people suffered losses in numerous ways. And while all this is going on, where is your so-called Auntie Mia? Every time there's a catastrophe, she is missing in action. She exits the island and go abroad to glorify herself on the world stage, forgetting about the suffering of her own people. So she runs to Jamaica to glorify herself on the world stage about the catastrophe there. While at home, people are suffering catastrophic flooding and other things where freedom of speech and expression is being curtailed. Why is she always absent? Did anybody figure that she don't want to be there to answer any questions or be put on the spot as to what is the intention of her administration? For years and years and years, I've been calling, I've been talking, I've been singing, I've been wailing against this corrupted, totalitarian, demonic administration. Over and over, I've called for the ouster and the removal of Mia Emma Martley and her Martley crew of idiots. Over and over, I've called for a 5,000-man march, but the people would not come out. Now it's all about Ronnie. Well, where the hell was Ronnie all these years when we in the diaspora was crying out? Now he's making it all about himself. Well, you can do that. But I'm here to tell my people, if you make it just about Ronnie, you have missed the boat. It should be about all of us, all of we. Because removal of human rights for one is removal of human rights for all. And this should concern every Barbadian, not just Ronnie. A man who calls himself the announcer but cannot speak clearly. I listened to his speech, and his pronunciation and vocabulary delivery leave much to be desired. And while I feel for his plight, we must ask, where have you been all these years? When I was calling out for Gabby Lasset-Bag and all the major entertainers to come to the fore and stand up for the children, stand up for parental rights, nobody answered the call. Now because you get your heel bruised, you comes out squealing like a stick pig because you would like to get your job back, which you're not going to get back. Because you see, when you have a communist dictator, they uses people and then discard them like an orange peel. So you have been discarded. And many more will be. But I'm going to say this to my people. It have to be more in the mortar than the pestle. And you have to make it about all of we, not just about running. Because you are being distracted that freedom of rights, freedom of expression is being denied to all, not just the one. Get the message straight. Over 3 years ago, I called for the police department and the defense force to join the resistance movement, as there would be marginalized and put on the back burner for foreign interest. Once again, I'm calling for a nationwide shutdown, a day of resistance, whereby people of the security department, the police, the defense force come out en masse and tell me and Motley, we've had enough of you. We had enough of you trying to silence us. We've had enough of you withholding our pay, stopping us from joining a union, taking away our rights to freedom of expression, denying us promotion, giving us improper salaries and benefits. And we must only do your dirty deeds. It's time for a change. Not just get out there and hollering and whooping and dancing. When there's a protest march, I want to hear, Mia, it's time for you to go. We've had enough of you. Resign and go. That's the message. It must be loud and clear. And once again, I'm calling for the resignation of dictator Amor Mia Motley, or Mia Amor Motley, however you want to put it. Because righteousness exalts a nation, but evil and wickedness tears it down. And what you have is an evil, wicked, demonic administration who have brought nothing but suffering and death to my people. 50 murders in Compton so far for the year on a tiny island. And what is she doing about it? Not a damn thing, because when you bring in chaos and disorder to create fear, it serves the purpose of a dictator. They're ruled by fear and intimidation. My people, she will keep talking about climate change and blame climate change on the flooding and the catastrophe rather than on their lack of putting in critical infrastructure to protect the people. Proper drainage, proper roads, proper housing, and other social services that the people can utilize in case of emergency. So rather than she stay at home and put emergency services in place, she's off to Jamaica to give some meaningless speech to glorify herself as being Mistress It on the world stage. It's all about her. Is mankind going to save this planet? Hell no. In the book of Revelation 11, starting at verse 15, God said, He will give his reward to the prophets, both small and great, and bring to ruin those ruining the earth. And the chemtrails and the geoengineering is what's causing these severe weather patterns, and then they're going to have climate change. But who is doing it? According to the book of Daniel, chapter 7, starting at verse 25, it said, and they will try to alter times and seasons. Let me repeat that. It said, and there, the demonic hordes will try to alter times and seasons and laws. Now, Revelation 13 shows you that these dictatorial powers will try to implement the mark of the beast, to enslave the people and curtail religious freedom. And we are seeing that. So when you're worshiping these demonic political forces, you are in fact worshiping the devil, the opposer of truth and righteousness. That is why in the book of Psalms 147 verse 3 it said, God will heal the brokenhearted, bind up their wounds and heal them and comfort them. So that this is a spiritual battle, good against evil. We don't want dancing up in the street and walking up to some song. We want prayers and reverence for God, that He will step in and lead us victorious through the turbulent waters and put us on the other side of the Jordan, while our opposers drowned in the sea of their own wickedness. Over and over I've told you. Are you listening? It's now or never. May do not let an opportunity go to waste to go and glorify ourselves talking about climate change. So if Ronnie is the straw that breaks the camel's back, so be it. But you have to utilize it by having a 5,000 man march whereby you shut the city down. Shut it down. You have to bring it to a halt. Policemen, nurses, doctors, everybody that is of notoriety have to come out and take a stand and shut the place down for a day to have an effect. There is power in numbers, and unity means strength. I've been calling for this over and over, because what affects one affects all. So I don't want to make it about Ronnie. I want to make it about each and every one of you. Old, young, great and small must stand together and say we have had enough of mere suffrage. Of mere suffrage. Because all she has brought to you is sufferation, heartache and desperation, and tears, and death, and pain, and starvation, and the taking away of your rights, your freedom, your land, your entitlement. It's time to say, I've had more than enough, and I'm dogging down fed up with you, man. We are all fed up, and you must go. So along with the marches, there must be a massive rush to the polls to make it too big to rig. Too damn big to rig. They are going to use Smartmatic machines from Hugo Chavez to rig the next election. They're going to bring all these offshore people to vote in your elections. But you, the people of Barbados, must make it too damn big to rig. Get the hell up there by the thousands. If there are 265,000 Barbadian people, I want 265,000 to go to the polls and vote out this administration. If you do that, then it's too big to rig. You vote out every BLP. You vote out every damn DLP. And you vote in a slew of independent candidates to form a coalition government to have a fresh start. What Barbados need is a revolution to create a solution. Over and over, I'm telling you. I look down the road and I see the vision that the Uniparty will never bring you liberation from your troubles. The DLP and the BLP is a Uniparty. People said across on the floor. But in the back, hey man, we got this. So now you can use Ronnie as a distraction while she rig and freak the next election. And bringing people and selling off all the assets. And if that privatization of the transport board, which will forlure hundreds of workers to become destitute, do not light a fire under your ass, I wonder what will. I think that is bigger than this Ronnie thing. Because no driver in Barbados can afford to buy a 334,000 to 700,000 bus. Where you get the capital? You have to go into debt up to your eyeballs to get it. And in 6 months, you will lose everything because you cannot maintain that payment. You will never make enough fares to meet the monthly payment. And then like a leased vehicle, it's repossessed and goes back to who? The original owner government. So the government is going to use you, the people, to support the maintenance cost of those buses, which will be maintained by the same Chinese communists that brought them in. And they make profit. And then what the Chinese will do? Use the clicker and disable the chips in those buses, make it go here where maintenance costs. Now you've got the buses going on the street and water's gushing into a bus. Does that tell you something? How well made are those buses? If you're on an electric bus and water floods in, people whooping and hollering when their life is in danger of being electrocuted, are you all stupid or what? Wake the hell up. First of all, the cost of an electric vehicle is 30% higher than a conventional vehicle, the purchase price. And the maintenance cost is 40% higher than to maintain a conventional diesel or gasoline engine vehicle. You already know that, did you? So if they're saying that the man will own the buses maintain, then where the hell are they going to get the extra capital to do so? But she hint one thing. Oh, they will wash and maintain. So the drivers will end up being the cleaning crew. And when you are the cleaning crew, you are working with somebody else. I'm here to tell you, in the end analysis, Uber and the Chinese is going to join forces and control the transportation system on the island. She talked about mass transit. Mass transit has to involve a variety of transport vehicles: trains, trams, buses, cars, ferries. Do Barbados have the infrastructure for such? No. First, you have to have the infrastructure. You do not have rails to run trains. You do not have the infrastructure to run a ferry service. You do not have the infrastructure for trolleys. You don't have the infrastructure for roads that would have designated express lanes where buses will run efficiently. You have none of that. And the reason flooding show you that you don't have the infrastructure because many roads become impassable, even buses got flooded. So how the hell you talk about mass transit and you do not have the infrastructure in place for that? No, Barbados will not have a mass transit system. The only mass transit is that Uber and the Chinese will take over the buses and the taxis. And you'll end up working for them for a slave wage. They get 80%, you get 20%, thus if you get a flat tire, you fix it. If you got a breakdown, you fix it. But in the background, the government is still the major holder of those buses. Owner. You all getting it? Another trick to enslave you and make you more impoverished. Because if you take a loan to purchase a $300,000 bus, the minimum, you have to be making what a month? Do you ever figure how much a month you have to make? You have to at least make $5,000 a month to put the carrying charges, maintenance, and then get a little something for yourself. And right now, no taxi driver in Barbados, no bus driver makes $5,000 US a month. You think about it. So it's just a pipe dream that you'll become an owner of a transport board bus. It's never going to happen. You're going to revert back to working for somebody who have the capital because BlackRock, the global investor, will come in through AIM and finance the purchase of those buses along with the Chinese, and you'll work for them. Get it through your thick heads. Mia aim to take over everything from you, that you would have nothing, own nothing, and be happy according to the globalist 2030 agenda. This is all working in together to meet that goal. Everything they put in place is not for your benefit, but for your destruction, for the taking away of your rights and your liberty and your freedom. Look right now, that kind of want to implement, they cannot work unless you have the digital ID. What is that? Revelation chapter 13, the mark of the beast. You cannot buy or sell unless you have the mark of the beast, people. And everybody will try to follow suit. And while President Trump is fighting the globalists, Trump, they are pushing back with all kind of frivolous lawsuits, war, lawfare, and everything to stop the freedom from spreading around the world to the people. Open your eyes. They're using this Epstein files as a distraction. But his name is nowhere on the list of pedophiles going to that island. That's what they're searching for. But Epstein's own lawyer said no, he was not involved. 3 of his lawyers said no, he was not involved. But yet, they're trying to distract you with that. That if they could stop the freedom fighter from delivering, they can keep you enslaved under the bonds of 2030 agenda. Wake up, people. Liberate yourselves. You have to stop Mia am a globalist dictator Martley, because Barbados no longer have a democracy, it have a dictatorship. That's why she went republic, because she wants to fill her hands with ultimate power. And now she's moving toward that by trying to solidify herself through the Caribbean as being the leader of the resistance. And when you align yourself with wicked, corrupt Maduro, what else you need to see? And his magic machines to steal elections. But I'm calling on you people one more time that you have to make it too damn big to rig. 265,000 people, native people. And if I get at least 200,000 people to come out and vote me out, it will be too big to rig. Not just the march. The greatest march is marching to the polls en masse. Grab your grandma, grab your granddad, grab your aunt, grab your neighbor and go. And make sure that when you fill in that circle and sign it on the dotted line, it's not for the uniparty. That's the way you free and liberate yourself. We just see the people in Mexico come out and go against the corrupted, compromised, drug cartel, hierarchy boss that becomes the president. Because the people see through her. She's working against the interests of the people in the corrupt entity. Just like Mia Motley. They are into corruption. It's all about money, 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 money. Oh, give me the money. And once they get that 30 pieces of dirty silver, they don't give a rat's ass about if you eat or drink or survive. But the power is in your hand at the ballot box. Not just a few people have a Ronnie. No, that's not going to cut it. It's at the ballot box that you have to make your decision for your freedom, for your liberation, for thinking about your heritage. That's where the power is. By voting out this corrupt administration that I've been calling for several years. I've been urging you to do so. And you have an opportunity to do so. But it's up to you. The fate is in your hand when you go to the ballot box. You have to decide you've had enough, that you're fed up. And you will take no more of mere suffrage. Because if you let her get back in power, you think it's bad now? Look out. Look out. You will eat the bread the devil need. And worse than that. You mark my word. And if you think that 50 deaths in the first 6 months is bad, you will see it double. Okay? Mark my word. Again, I'm urging you to go to the ballot box and make sure that 200,000 Barbadians cast their ballots against this corrupt administration, and then it will be too big to rig. I'm fed up. Are you? The decision is up to you.